Hey, I'm Doug Pagitt from Vote Common Good. And I got to tell you, I'm no fan of Joe Rogan. I think he pushes out populist ideas that are really underdeveloped, and he tries to bring people in and act like he's an expert on ideas that he's not. But this really isn't just about Joe Rogan. It's really about how so many people chose to believe Donald Trump, chose to believe that what Donald Trump was telling them is what Donald Trump was going to do. Now, here's Joe Rogan just this week talking about how he didn't know that Donald Trump was going to be rounding up people at a Home Depot or people who hadn't committed crimes in the United States.
I don't think the Trump administration, if they're running and they said, we're going to go to Home Depot and we're going to arrest all the people at Home Depot, we're going to go to construction sites and we're going to just tackle people at constructions. I don't think anybody would have signed up for that. They said, we're going to get rid of the criminals and the gang members first, right? And now we're seeing Home Depots get raided.
Yeah, here's the thing about Joe Rogan's ideas. He even said it himself. They're going to start with the criminals, the violent criminals first. Donald Trump promised he was going to deport all the people who were in the country without authorization. He bragged about needing to deport 10 million people. So what did you think he was going to do? To say, boy, if someone had said Donald Trump was going to, be rounding up people at Home Depot, no one would have signed up for that. Well, yeah, Joe Rogan, you did sign up for that. You signed Donald Trump up for that. When you walked into the voting booth and cast your ballot, you were essentially signing him up to do just what he said he was going to do. And he bragged about it. Here's Donald Trump telling you what he was going to do.
Immediately upon taking the oath of office, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history. But we have no choice. We have to get all of these criminals, these murderers and drug dealers and everything. We're getting them out.
Now, you might think, Donald Trump said he was going to start just with those criminals, just with the violent criminals. But he also said he was going to run the largest deportation program in American history.
But is it your plan to deport everyone who is here illegally over the next 4 years?
Well, I think you have to do it. And it's a very tough thing to do.
Donald Trump is making this big promise about deporting millions of people. They're trying to do it. Here's the thing. There aren't enough people to deport. There aren't enough criminals to deport. In fact, the Cato Institute, this is a libertarian think tank group, not some woke progressive group, has said that 65% of the people taken by ICE and put in lockup have no convictions at all, and 93% of them aren't violent criminals. Less than 7% of the people that ICE has gathered up have any violent offenses and been charged with anything like it. But yet they're rounding up people. And not only are they rounding up people, they're rounding up people in a way that is designed to make people fear, putting masks on ICE agents. Look, they're doing that to try to show that this is an authoritarian, strong-armed government. Donald Trump wants to look tough and act like he's deporting all these people. He wants to, but there just aren't enough unless they go into cafes, they go into the fields and round people up, which we've all seen video of. That's precisely what they've been doing. Under Obama's administration, in his first term, he deported 1.5 million people. That's what you see in the chart there in red. The next bar graph in green, that's Biden's second term, deported 1.15 million people. They referred to him as the deporter in chief. Didn't go into any Home Depots, didn't round people up, didn't have masked agents running the streets of Los Angeles and Minneapolis and cities in Ohio, rounding up people. That fourth bar, the green one, that's Biden's administration. 1.1 million people deported. That yellow bar in the middle, that gold one, that's Trump's first term. He deported less people. The far side of the graph, the little yellow one, the little yellow, that's Donald Trump's current term. What he wants to do is to deport 10 times as many people as Obama did in any one of his terms. That's his promise. What do you think Donald Trump is actually up to? What he has done in this second term is to remove people from this country against their constitutional rights. Obama deported 1 million people per 4 years. Biden deported 1 million people in 4 years. And they didn't have any one of their cases go before the Supreme Court to be shown that they violated someone's constitutional rights. So what is Trump up to? Making a big promise that he wants to villainize tens of millions of people. And Joe Rogan didn't know it was coming. Look, I'm not trying to lecture you if you voted for Trump, but if you continue to choose to believe this man, when he tells you all of these things and does the opposite, whether it's about deportations or it's about saying he's going to get us out of every military entanglement and then bombs Iran, or he says he's going to not only protect Medicare, but he's going to make it even better and then wants to pass a bill to slash it. Whether he says that he's going to make sure Social Security is there or passes a bill that's going to start to eliminate it. Or someone who says that he's going to be the one to make America great again and then drags us down again and again and again. So look, Joe Rogan's going to be Joe Rogan. I had no idea. Who would have known? Who could have known? Well, you could pay a little attention because there were a lot of people, from reporters to pundits to activists, telling you if Donald Trump tries to deport 10 million people, they're not going to be violent criminals. Look, we have a problem with immigration in this country. There's not legal ways for people to come in this country, and deporting people out is not the solution. We need a change in our legal immigration program in this country. And until we have it, we do not need Donald Trump and Stephen Miller running around with a bunch of ICE agents with masks on, terrorizing people, tackling them in Home Depot parking lots, trying to act like they're keeping America safe. I'm Doug Pagitt from Vote Common Good. You can follow us on our podcast. If you're interested in dropping Joe Rogan or adding a little common sense to it, you can follow us on our podcast here on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts and find us at votecommongood.com.